All right, back here, Toronto police are giving an update on upcoming demonstrations this weekend. Let's listen in.
And I'll now take any questions.
What are these large-scale demonstrations? Can you be specific who's organizing them and where they're taking place?
We have many demonstrations occurring across the city, and they are both pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel demonstrations that are occurring on Saturday and Sunday.
The arrest that was made today, the Bay enrichment incident, can you explain?
Everything that I can share is already in the press release. I think one of the things that wasn't spoken about directly in the news release today was that the signage that was being removed were posters.
Were they free hostage posters?
I don't have the specific details on that. The investigation is still ongoing.
There seems to be a lot of confusion between, what is hate crime? What is hate crime? What is free speech? What is hate speech? At a rally, what will police actually be looking for?
Well, we will be looking for things that actually do constitute hate speech, signage as well, propaganda, and we've spoken about this before. It is complex, and it does require some consultation with the Ministry of the Attorney General as well. But as a police service, we've put a number of things in place as things have been escalating. We've enhanced our hate crime investigators. The enhancement of our unit itself, and we are, trying to streamline reporting as well, and really just encouraging a lot of people who may not have reported before to please come forward. We know that hate crime is underreported, and our officers are immediately gathering that evidence, commencing investigation, working with our specialized hate crime investigators, and consulting with the ministry to lay charges at the earliest opportunity, and also just to actually review the incident and determine whether in fact it does constitute hate.
You spoke about events happening on Saturday and Sunday in multiple locations, but can you be a little more specific where officers will be concentrating their efforts? Like, is this just scattered at spots across the city, or is there a main one like around Queen's Park, or where will the majority of officers be focusing their attention?
So the majority of the demonstrations are in the downtown core, but we are looking at all of them, and we have allocated resources appropriately to manage public safety in all of those areas of Toronto. So we have resources who will be present, not just to keep public safety, but also to manage the flow of traffic, to try to minimize disruption to our businesses downtown as well, and to the residents who are just going about the day. And we have a tremendous amount of resources, and we can scale up and scale down. I don't have a list of where those demonstrations are right now, but they're predominantly in the downtown core.
Last week, the chief spoke about the number of hate-motivated crimes that you were presently investigating since the start of the war. Do you have an update on the number of those incidents? I think it was 10 and 2. 12 in total from October 7th up until, I believe it was last Thursday or Friday. Do you have an update on that?
We have provided an update in numbers. I believe it's 15 anti-Semitic compared to 7 last year, and 5 anti-Palestine, anti-Muslim, which was 0 last year. And as a service, we have committed to updating those numbers on our Police Services Board meeting monthly.
So are you talking about numbers from October 7th up until today?
Yes. Yes, compared to the same year-to-date last year.
And
We can follow up with that to give you the exact numbers.
I just wonder, the rallies that are planned this weekend, so they've all been in touch with Toronto Police and they have permits to have these demonstrations?
Some do have permits and some don't. I mean, permits are generally help us respond, but we provide adequate resourcing regardless of that. And we do contact the organizers when we can to get a sense of what is expected, and also to lay the groundwork of what will be tolerated and what will not.
How worried are police about some kind of spontaneous uprising or spontaneous protest that you're not aware of? Is that what this is largely about?
No, it's not. In fact, we have many demonstrations every week in the city of Toronto. We are just responding to a different demonstration. We still today have no known threat to the city of Toronto, but we always ensure that that these protests are adequately resourced, again, to ensure public safety and to minimize disruption to our city.
And just to follow up from what Karen was asking a little bit earlier, just about what is hate, what is free speech. Again, just what specifically it can constitute constitute these things? Because people are, it's, can you define it in a stronger way about when you're actually attending an event? What is right and wrong? Like, how do you decipher?
It's very, very complex, and this is why we have a process in place to gather that evidence. We have our hate crime unit investigators as well will be on the ground to gather that evidence, and again, to consult with, they are experts in their area, but also consulting with the ministry to determine whether something actually constitute hate.
What about removing just a poster? There have been posters that have been posted everywhere. I would presume that's what was happening in this incident that we received the release of today, but removing a poster that says free the Israeli hostages. If I see someone removing that poster, does that constitute a hate crime?
What transpired and what is in the news release is that there was an assault that was motivated by hate, and that's all I can speak to at this time.
You said in your opening you used the word either perceived or alleged hate speech. Could you expand on that a little bit more?
Well, again, I think it's defining what actually constitutes that hate, which again, we do need time to look at.
Okay, and in these examples of the demonstrations that we've been to, one of us has been patrolling. Could you give an example of what you would say is perceived or alleged?
Yeah, I can't give specific examples. Again, I've explained the process that we do go through. I can share with you that we haven't actually laid any charges motivated by hate at a demonstration.
There are rumors that Hamas supporters may be driving through Jewish neighborhoods this weekend. Are you aware of those, and do you have a plan in place for that?
Yes, we are very aware of that circulating online. And we have been in communication with the organizers. And at this time, what we understand is that there is a planned car rally that will be coming from Durham region to downtown Toronto. And I know there was a concern about these people in the cars driving through specific neighborhoods. Again, I will remind everybody, as I've said previously and earlier today, we will not tolerate any criminality, any intimidating of any community in our city. Our organizers, the organizers of this event have told us that they will be heading directly to the city of Toronto, downtown Toronto, for the protest. But we do have resources in place. And again, if any behavior crosses the line, you can expect to be arrested.
This will be the last question.
Have relevant businesses been apprised of the planned protests?
Well, our planners do work with and notify surrounding businesses as well, but certainly when we do respond, our goal is not just public safety, but also minimizing disruption to businesses, recognizing that certainly people have to go about their daily activities.
I was thinking like the Landport incident, where they were protesting outside a Jewish-owned restaurant.
I can't speak to that specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Deputy Chief.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good day.
All right, that is the very latest from Toronto Police, updating the media and the people of Toronto in regards to upcoming demonstrations in our city this weekend. We've seen a number of them already. We know that several are planned for this weekend. These are pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli demonstrations, and this includes a car rally driving from Durham to Toronto. Police say they will not tolerate any kind of hate or intimidation targeting a specific community. They also say there is no threat known to Toronto at this point. Their focus, they say, managing public safety. They say the hate crime unit is on high alert, watching very closely for any kind of hate speech. And they also say no charges have been laid related to any demonstrations in the city of Toronto thus far.